Slightly more entertaining for you now, or less entertaining. We'll find out. Pointing out that the narrator was concerned about being a faceless, omniscient narrator and where their life has taken them, and what this has led to. Let's go with that, see if that's okay. try that with better audio here. See how that works? Yeah, so I was talking about how even with these small flaps here, they have little bits that still kind of seem like elephants. At least in my mind, that sort of looks like an elephant. Like maybe it's laying down. Maybe I just see things. Now for some smaller folds. Make sure you don't miss any. With the new mic stand, it's really picking up those crease sounds. That could be good or bad for you, I'm not sure. Crease, crease. Next up, this area over here. Crease this weird little mushroom. And I felt bad for calling something an elephant earlier. And all three of these flaps. Crease, crease, crease. Now for this bit over here. The creases are getting smaller and smaller. See, I told you I was omniscient. I am curious if I spend too much time or putting too much force into these creases. I think at least partially comes with like growing up and doing origami with like cheap construction paper and things like that. Which I think did develop my skills in a way. There's certainly different behavior from materials between like the official rice paper and whatever you're able to find lying around. I think it makes it easier for me to make things out of like any type of material. I did post a picture of making a crane out of salami a while back. I tried lettuce, Um, and it didn't. The structure was a little too rigid, yet doesn't fold well. Um, the salami I had to not freeze but chill periodically. If anyone was curious about that. It's still perfectly edible. It's just as you worked with it, the fats would start getting a little soft. Um, that's enough for salami talk. Here, let's see what else we've got. Grease, grease, and this flap at the end, crease, crease. Don't know where that character came from. This is an interesting shaped flap. Kind of a shame to fold it, but that's what we're here for. Boom! Folded. Checkmate, anti-vaxxer. And one last flap over here. Oh, I've got that one already. Now get the sponge stickers out of the bag. Check their shape to make sure you've got the right ones. Hopefully we still have the sponge stickers. I've had this long enough where it's gotten moved around a bit, so... We have a sheet of sponge stickers. So hopefully these are the right ones. Okay. If you're having trouble telling where one sticker ends and the other begins, try bending the sheet a bit. You can see we've got, looks like 4 of these. Five. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. 1, 2, 3. Does that... Okay, everything seems the right size. Let's see here. Before we actually stick anything down, let's check where it goes. We need to wrap the sticker around the red flashing area. If you're sure you know what's what, let's get sticking. Peel the whole sticker off, line it up with the hole, and stick. Now wrap the whole thing neatly around the back. Fold that over. And back round the front. Don't worry if it's a little off-center. The rest of the sponge stickers are for other projects, so put them safely back in the bag and store it away in the box. Now, let's turn this big piece into something more chunky and trunky. Roll it up into a long, thin box. It's those. And there. And now we're gonna fold those in, but let's find out if there's steps ahead of time. Lock it into place with this tab. Oh, I see they're talking about those tabs. Those tabs and then locking with those tabs, which I've already done. Use the smaller tab to finish it with another double lock. There's one more place to close up. Flip the piece over to find it. This looks suspiciously like a rubber band compartment. In goes the tab. Lock it up tight. What about the ends, you ask? Don't worry about them just yet. Those are for connecting to the other parts. Flip the part over like so. Let's combine it with the trunk tip we built earlier. Line them up as shown. Oh, last second pivot. and a turn. Now, insert this tab at the end into the waiting slot. It's got to come around like that, and... Interesting. Let's see where this goes. Could be something going in there, or something flipping around. I don't want to make any guesses until Flip it over gently so the parts don't come undone. Now, lift up the little flap with the sponge sticker and roll the trunk tip forward. With that one more roll. So this is going to come in here and fold in like that. Once it's in place, slide this tab into the slot to lock it there. It might be a little tough, but give it a good push. Sorry, I did that off camera. Wasn't thinking. Make sure it goes in all the way. We don't want to leave any gaps. Mind the gap. Now, let's look at the very tip. Fold the end over on itself to form one thick tab. Bend the thick tab around a little way. The little tooth at the back should stick into the little slot right here. Folding it that, and then talking about that tab fits in like that. Now, bring the thick tab all the way down here. Think of it as an elephant swinging down its trunk. Fits in like that. Hopefully that's as far as it's supposed to go. By sheer coincidence, this slot is in just the right size, so why not stick the tab inside? Now, following the folds, push the whole piece into its proper place. The part with the dot mark should be indented a little. So that just... That's all I really got there on that. Quickly check that the tooth is sticking out here like it should be. I mean... Not as much in the drawing, but yeah, it can't really go any farther, so... That's what we got to work with. The trunk tip is complete. Let's attach our trunk tip to the rest of the elephant. I'm sorry I say such weird things. Oh, line the parts up as shown. Let's set the trunk tip down on the on top of the trunk base. Just like that. Now open up the back end of the trunk tip, nice and wide. See that mushroomy tab at the top? It's gonna hold our rubber band in place. Hook it right on there. Gotcha. Coming out that side first. That. Make sure everything looks like it does on screen. There's a little bit of a crossover in the rubber band, but I think that's fine. If it all looks good, let's go ahead and close up the end flaps. In goes the tab for the first lock. And in goes the little tab for the double lock. Now, this connection might be a little surprising. We're going to take the rubber band below and hook it into the slot on top. Oh, that's the one we folded over. Okay. I was a little bit concerned for a second. Here goes nothing. That's the spot. Now lift the trunk tip up straight. We need to put the finishing touches on the rubber band connection. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky here. Lift the sides of the rubber band and slip them into this little slot in the middle. Not how I expected that to go. That's interesting. What does that do? Does that... so it keeps the tension in place. So, like, this is actually higher tension than this spot here. That's really... Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so you've got that, like... You've got that hold, but being able to do that is actually much easier than if the tension was around the whole thing. Neat. Have both sides gone all the way in? Nicely done. You can lie the trunk back down now. Remove these two pieces from sheet B. That shape. Yep, they're the elephant ears. Okay, yeah, still have a few pieces left to go here. That one's done. Looks like we have one piece left after this. Hey, see, how's it going? Oh, hey. Hey. 1 second. Hey, can you meet me over at camera 2? It's, No, this is a bit of a special day for you here. I just wanted to say happy birthday. I'm I'm glad I could bring you some joy. Yeah, so we're just about finishing the elephant here. Huh, okay, so I guess we're not using that piece. That's all the Toy-Con elephant pieces we'll need. Sheet elephant D, is the only one we haven't emptied, so put it safely back in the box. So, what sheet D is something that has a tail and feet on it. I'm guessing if we're not using that right now, that's going to be for programming other modes to it. It'll be easiest to add the ears if you hold the main Toy-Con this way around. No need to fold anything here. This piece with the L mark will be the left ear. Flip it over and hold it this way up. So doing everything from backstage here. Take this big tab marked in red and slip it into the long slot below the eyelet. Kind of rope. Okay, I am really annoyed at myself for not noticing this. So just this casually shaped piece here. Again, talking about how much they put into the design of these things. That tab lines up in this gap here. I mean, come on. So, let me make sure I get this on camera here. So see how there's this gap here from, that's just kind of randomly placed in there. As we bring this piece in through that slot, the rotation locks it in place into this nice divot that they had us construct without even telling us. There we go. I'm really annoyed I didn't notice that while building it. Now, rotate it so that the tab at the bottom slides into the waiting slot. That's the left ear done. Next up, The right ear with the R mark. As before, flip it and hold it this way up. Slip it into the slot. And rotate it into position. With those ears in place, our Toy-Con looks like a real elephant. The ears are in place. They don't really do anything, but looks are important, okay? Last but not least, let's test the trunk out. Grab the tip with your favorite hand. I don't want to pick favorites right now. What feels right? I'm sure as a surprise to no one, I'm not entirely ambidextrous, but there are things that just feel right with different hands. Oh. No, that's not right for an elephant. Animal noises are hard. Now, give the trunk a big, long swing. Does it extend and move as shown? Now for some side swings. Does it bend to the side nicely as well? Oh, and I'm just now hearing that the game itself was doing elephant noises. The trunk is complete. With a trunk that long, this elephant's all grown up. Take a well-earned break, and then we'll get our elephant ready to play. Attaching the Joy-Con controllers. You won't be able to do this next bit if we've been using the console and TV mode. So if you have, go ahead and remove the console from the dock. We'll see how long we can get away with this here. And it's actually not letting us. Okay. Get the Joy-Con left and Joy-Con right ready. First, pull the thick tab out from the trunk's tip. Here goes the Joy-Con R. That's the one with the plus button. Slide the Joy-Con R into the open trunk tip, lining it up as shown. Again, showing the design of these, how like that little gap was right for that last home button. And as I talked about before, sorry, I just realized another design thing. So I knew that was going to be happening here with the infrared sensor. And like the infrared sensor's reacting to those dots. This tip of the trunk here, this little button. Let's see if that comes up on the microphone. This whole assembly here is a paper trigger for that shoulder button up there. And people say this is just a bunch of cardboard. Once it's all the way in, put that thick tab back in the slot where it goes. Next up is the Joy-Con L. That's the one with the minus button. Slide the Joy-Con L into this slot at the base of the trunk. There's a mark nearby so you know it's the right place. Yeah, so this one just kind of pops in there like that. There's its own gap for that back there, and probably going to be using that ready the Joy-Con VR goggles. There's no need to put the console in it just yet. Goes off the shelf here. Flip the cover on the top out of the way. Okay, yeah, so this is just going to be a test fit kind of thing. And here go the goggles. And that flips back over. Behold, the goggles and the elephant become one. Again, I don't mean to say such weird things all the time. Don't forget to flip the cover back into position. That'll hold everything together. Okay, that's our check done. Open the top cover and remove the goggles. Oh, it's perfect. It's unparalleled. Dare I say it? It's an experience you'll never forget. The Joy-Con elephant. Oh, wait a second. I almost forgot to tell you how to use it. See this indentation here? Place your index finger on it like a trigger. And it's explaining it'll press a button on the Joy-Con for you. Your elephantine building adventure is finally over. The Toy-Con elephant is ready. Now let's go have some elephant fun. Sorry, I forgot I was muted there. I was just saying that this had been holding together, but has come detached again recently. I'm gonna try to repair this after I get it replaced. We'll see what we can get out of that. Yeah, so shifting this over. Let me stop fighting my hair for a little bit here. Okay, yeah, so I don't know if this. Can we get a focus in on this? Not really. You can kind of see the rainbow. So once it's all in the system, they talk about tapping in the corner to oops, tapping in the corner to switch to VR mode. You can see how it switches to those goggles. So make sure we face it the right way. So here in the cardboard is the ventilation shaft, the volume controls. Still have access to the controller connectors. And this actually senses the motion for tapping. And then that goes on down there. And like that. And then you hold it up here like this. Fortunately, I don't have any way to give you a bit of beat of this. Yeah, you get to... Okay, I'm a bit annoyed that the first thing that I'm given here is not an elephant thing. Oh, that's hilarious. The ring light is driving the infrared sensors into hell. But in general, you can see how the thing works. So yeah, I think these are definitely showing up better on this camera. I'll have to send you like a picture or something